Okay, folks, welcome to Best Stock Charts for the coming week. This is Bob Desmond, and we are going to go over our week last week. What did we do? Or I should say, how did we do? And we did pretty good. We did some options trading last week with our NUGT position. We went into the week with a fairly sizable position, and on the first, we had gap down, breaking the support level. And I said, you know what? Let's take advantage of this abbreviated week. It'll probably be light volume. So we sold a covered call, 25 strike price, bringing in 53 cents per contract on a portion of our position, only a small portion. And that brought us in $530 in premium profits. Now, the shares were called away from us on Friday afternoon, but we do plan on seeking to reopen that position yet again. So we had 10 contracts called away from us. We'll look to resell the 25 strike puts. So in essence, let's do a hypothetical. If we're paid 60 cents per contract for selling the 25 strike puts, well, then, if the shares are put to us next Friday, because we'll be using the weekly contracts, our basis cost would be $24.40. So we get a discount, and we'll feel good about ourselves if the shares close out the week above that number. Our USLV trade, that came under a little bit of pressure. Our NLS trade under some pressure as well. But our Pimp Mac Daddy position, our core position, is the NUGT, and it did very well. It bounced back off of the lows of Friday after retesting the rising 20-period moving average on Friday and closing back above a breakout point. So net still bullish on NUGT as we proceed into the coming week. And while, yes, we had some shares called away from us on Friday, we are still very heavy long of NUGT, and we'll be looking to add more in the future. But before I leave this chart, I want to talk about TrendSpider. TrendSpider is one of our partners, and they have really expanded their product, meaning they now have not just U.S. stocks and ETFs, but indexes, futures, the pink sheets, cryptos, and Forex. So they're really expanding their product line here. I would encourage you, please jump on board, take advantage of the value that they're offering. Use my discount code CT25Z, and you could use the link if you watch this on YouTube below in the description area, or if you watch this on the website, use the link above, and that'll take you over to their checkout site. And yes, TrendSpider is included with our silver and gold level memberships, so take advantage. And the one other thing I wanted to point out about TrendSpider, which I was so happy that they did, is that you now have the ability to annotate the indicators. It sounds like a small thing, but it's not. Because sometimes, in the case of RSI, many times you have an indicator that could lead price performance. And while we do not have it here, we do see that we have RSI, which is validating the breakout on TrendSpider. Good stuff. We have higher lows on the stochastics, and the Stokes are hooking up. I think we're going to see good things for NUGT this coming week, as well as gold, silver, and yes, I do send out alerts to members when I enter and exit a trade. I was asked that several times this past week, so apparently I need to work on the copy on the website. Now what I want to do is I want to talk about headlines over the weekend. Let's bring up home prices over in the Bay Area, plunging, largest in 7 years. This has been going on in Manhattan as well. The higher end housing in Manhattan is declining. Why is that? Well, you can attribute it to the economies of both states, but you could also attribute it to the tax changes introduced by President Trump. And the rich are leaving. The goal of this past business cycle has been to wipe out the middle class, and they're successfully doing so. So all you'll have left soon are the extremely poor and illegal in both New York and New Jersey, Connecticut, all these high tax states. and a few very wealthy, and the middle class is just going to be forced out, or they'll have to join the ranks of the very, very poor. What else is concerning in the news? Carmageddon continues. New vehicle sales plunged to horribly mature 1999 levels. Another headline, America's record-long expansion was just the rich getting richer as the middle class died. It's not arguable. Those who have had assets since the quote-unquote recovery, which never really was, right? Over 120 months hence since the bottom, we still have ridiculously low interest rates, and they're set to go lower. So has there been a recovery? I think not. This economy has been on a morphine drip for the past 120 odd months, and things are about to get real fast in the coming months. So the question is, what must you own during this next downturn? And it's already begun. Simply take a look at gold, monthly chart. If you had any doubt whether or not gold was poised for a breakout, those concerns should have been put to rest back here in June when we broke out above this multi-year resistance level. And all signs indicate, whether it be on price, whether it be on your indicators, we are going higher. Now, where we haven't seen the breakout in a very big way yet, and where there's a lot of opportunity, is in silver. I'm using the leveraged ETF USLV, but for those who are risk adverse, we'll just simply use silver. Same chart setup. And here you have a nice consolidation, higher lows on RSI, higher lows on Stokes. Folks, this is what the early stages of a multi-month, multi-year breakout look like. But you must be looking at monthly charts, quarterly charts. Forget about these daily charts. They have their place in your trading strategy, but it certainly isn't when you're looking at early stage breakouts out of multi-year bases. So I would encourage you, use multi-time frame analysis. If you're not confident with drawing your own support and resistance levels, that's fine. If you're using a service like TrendSpider, all you need to do is click a button and it does it for you. I'm not saying you have to use TrendSpider, use any software, but you must draw your support and resistance levels. All right, let's move on to the charts that we're watching for the coming week. Let's begin with Perspecta. There's not much data here on a monthly time frame. They don't have much history. Let's go to a weekly setup. And we spoke about Perspecta last week. And you could see that we are very close to a weekly breakout. They tried to take the shares down last week, but they were rejected. And in fact, what they did is they only validated a support level here. So what we're looking for is a breakout and above this upper band of resistance 1, then up and above this upper band of resistance in blue. The RSI is looking rock solid. And it's very difficult to see here on weekly RSI. Let me see if I can drill down here. You can see that we have poked our nose out and above this upper band of resistance. Color, let's try to, and there you can see it better. Note how we have broken out above the upper band of resistance on RSI, and this is the value of annotating your indicators, folks. We have broken out on RSI, not yet on price, but we are very, very close to a breakout here. So Perspecta is one that we are watching for the new trading week. The next chart up, KSU, Kansas City Southern. So I'm going to take off the trend lines for now. And what I want to show you is the fact that we did break out on KSU. We did so the week of June the 24th. Last week we had a continuation rally. The transports, I wonder with members on the week ahead commentary, the overall market health using the charts, of course, and the transport I'm a bit concerned about. So, members, if you're watching this, go watch the week ahead commentary on the website. It's posted there. I posted it last night. I sent it out late. The transports are looking fairly weak in terms of price action, and I'm concerned about a possible pullback on KSU early next week, and that's a good thing. Why is that a good thing? What I want to see is a retest of this breakout point. I want to see it tested. I want to see it held because we are OCD. Any trader worth his salt has obsessive compulsive disorder. We want to retouch what was resistance, should now be support. And what if it doesn't? What we want to see is a pullback and a retest of this now rising lower band of support. So KSU, we're not long of yet, but we'll probably be long sometime next week on a pullback. Next chart up, CMG, Chipotle Mexican Grill. Now, looking at Chipotle on a monthly basis, you could see that we are at highs not seen since 2015. This is a stock that's come back a long, long way. And when you throw up your monthly trend lines, you could see that we have a long way left to go before we hit major upside resistance. Now, that's not to say that we don't have some minor resistance above prior to hitting major resistance, but in the short run anyway, I think it's safe to say that we have this is a perfect case of having a retest. We're going to talk about this for a moment. This is a perfect example of us having a bull flag setup. We broke out the week of, actually the month, this is a monthly chart, we broke out in June. So far this month, what we're doing is we're doing a retest of the breakout point. This is a validation, assuming that it holds, of course. If we break back down into this trading range, well, then all bets are off. You want to stand aside and avoid the trade in the short term anyway. But longer term, right now, the breakout is for real. The retest is for real. We did rally off of the retest. And what we're looking for now is a continuation move higher on the month and then on a month-over-month basis. And that sets us up for a rally, possibly a 30% rally, if not more, on Chipotle Mexican Grill. We're very bullish on Chipotle. And clearly, the indicators are rock solid, higher lows, higher highs, and this is what you want to see. No negative divergences. The next chart up, First Solar. Now, I will caution that I shared with members some concerns that I have about First Solar and its price relative to a commodity. Members, it's on the members area. But looking at the chart from a standalone basis, it looks fairly strong. We could throw up the automated trend lines. You could see that we have broken out above several resistance levels. This month, we have broken out above critical resistance, and that sets us up for a run up to this upper band of resistance here in green. Now, what I want to do is I want to take a moment and share with you a new feature. This is a beta version of what TrendSpider likes to call raindrop charting. And I'm still absorbing it, but I am gaining an appreciation for it. And the lower section here, these are both charts of FSLR. On top here, your standard candlesticks. But below, you have what you call raindrop charts, which is a mixture of candlestick charting and VWAP, volume-weighted moving average. And you can see the value in using both of these charts. Case in point, on the 12th of June, we had a very bearish bar on both candlestick and on raindrop charts. No doubt about it. But the value of using these charts helps you identify where during the day you see volume move in or move out of a stock. And in the case of the 13th, and I haven't explained this, the left side of the raindrop chart is the AM. The right side is the PM, afternoon. So you want to see volume expand outward, as you saw on the 13th during the close. Now, you didn't get that value. While this is a good candlestick on standard candlesticks, you didn't get the same value. Meaning on one chart showing intraday volume action into the close. That's powerful stuff. Because, as I always like to say, it doesn't matter where stock trades intraday. What matters is where it closes. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch it up a little bit with regard to volume. I don't care where volume is intraday. I want to know, if I'm bullish, if that volume is strong into the close. Raindrop charting answers that question. It tells me in one simple view. I had volume into the close. It was a strong day on the 13th. You didn't necessarily get that with FSLR on the 13th using a standard candlestick. In fact, you saw a topping tail. And while we did get a pullback, the pullback to the rising 20-period moving average was not necessarily bearish, even though we closed down on the 17th using standard candlesticks, but using the raindrop charting, it actually closed up on the day, making it very bullish. And where was volume on the 17th? It was right at the close. So the edge that this could give you using both charts is that rather than saying, okay, this is a consolidation day, I'll wait for another day of retest, perhaps sideways consolidation, or we may even pull lower. Had you used raindrop charting, you might have said, wow, okay, there are buyers into the close here. There's a good possibility that we move higher, which we did from that point in time. So just a brief introduction to raindrop charting, and I'll become more articulate with it as I talk about it more and more. And fast forwarding to price action on the 5th, you could see that we closed very, very strong into the close on the 5th, and that validates the standard candlestick, which looks poised to want to move higher on First Solar. So First Solar is looking really good. All right, now moving on to CyberArk. What we're going to do here is we're going to use an overlay of the weekly chart using standard candlesticks above. And then below, we're going to use the raindrop charting using a daily chart using raindrop charting. TrendSpider does not have raindrop charting for monthly charting yet because it's in beta mode, but I'm sure that they will have it fairly soon. They're pretty quick with their development, and their prices are probably going up. They have some pretty awesome tools here. So the weekly chart is looking pretty good. What we want to do is we want to throw up our upper band of resistance, lower band of support. So we're in a nice consolidation on a weekly basis. On a daily basis, let's throw up some automated resistance levels here and support levels. Okay, so again, we are in a nice consolidation. We have a rising lower band of support, which we bounced off of on Friday. Note how we closed out the day on both the 2nd and on the 5th. We had volume move in to the shares at the close. That sets us up for a continuation move higher on CyberArk. We're looking for a breakout here in the very, very near future. And again, yes, I do send out trade alerts on all of our trades, whether they be options, whether they be buys or sells. So please take advantage of the 14-day free trial offer. Everybody have a great remainder of your Sunday and be well.